Okay, so we're back in InDesign. And let's plan out how we're going to use this grid moving forward. Okay, so let's say I'm going to plan on having text here, like this, on each page. And let's show the flexibility, I guess, is how we want to say it. Show the flexibility of our layout. So here I'm going to make a headline area. And I'm going to dedicate this whole top row to just that headline. So I'm going to make this bigger. And I'm going to pick something like Helvetica. Okay. And I'm going to make this centered where it floats right there in the middle. And I've got enough space if I have longer words. In fact, I might just bump this down a little bit and make sure that my leading is auto for now, just in case there's a second line. Okay, and I'm going to call this headline, and I don't want it based on body. I want it to work independently from body. Okay, so I got my headline. I've got where my text is going to start right here, let's say. Now let's put it back down. And then I'll plan out that I want 3 images. And I'm going to make sure that this image in my template, that it looks like an image. So I'm going to bump this up here. I'm going to separate these. Remember that our columns are separated by 0.3125. So I'm going to separate those out. Then I know that's like that's the kind of separation I should have between my images. So I'll pull this down where it fits in the grid, pull this up where it fits in the grid, and there we go. So that should, that kind of, and we'll have to keep doing this here. So let's say through 4 images. So I'm going to separate them out. Oops, I accidentally selected the headline. I'm going to separate them out and then just squeeze up a little bit, separate them until I get that consistent spacing. There we go. So now they are, another way to do this would just be to pick your box size here and then pull these down to align to your grid. And there we go. Now we're getting kind of a page coming together. So so then you'll want to do this in all your subsequent pages, planning out different ways that the layout could flex. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to delete this because remember we wanted this space for a headline. So that's coming together a little bit more nicely. So let's copy this, and we see everything fits in our grid. In fact, this isn't actually fitting in our grid, so let's do that. Or you could pull it down all the way. You could do something like this, where maybe you have, let's make a caption area. That'll be a solution. Caption. And let's make this smaller and something different about it. Italicized, let's say. And so you all know, I'm rushing through these steps just to give you a quick video. You will hopefully spend way more time on this, but yeah, and I'm gonna, I'll keep this, well, Nah, I want to keep it separate from body. Okay, so let's close in this space here, and I'll go type, fill with placeholder text. Looks like we got too much space here between lines. So let's open up caption, format. Yeah, we got way too big a leading. And then you'll want to also go and make sure that your spacing isn't huge either. Okay, so there we go. We got a little bit of a grid going together now. But I want to make this float in the center. So there. And let's make sure that we fill all this space out. There we go. All right, so we get a little bit of a page coming together. Let's copy these. Come here, paste. You can also hold Shift, Option, Command, V, and it'll paste in place like that. Okay, so now we got two spreads facing each other. So I'm gonna make them be opposites like this, where our pictures are on the outside, copy is on the inside, and let's go ahead and make this headline style right facing, and I'm going to make a new paragraph style headline right, and I do for sure want this based on headline. Oh, and that means that I should go up here to make my template consistent, headline right. Also, something you can do, let's see, I think that actually, let's open this up. I think that there's a setting, as I recall, you could say that it always, there's a setting in here somewhere where you can say to always face away from the spine, away from the spine. There we go. Okay, so that means that we can delete this, and that's our headline style. See, this is our headline style. This is our headline style, and you see how now it will always align away from the spine. So let's test that out again. Let's create a new text block area. I'm going to type in the word headline. See, right now it's showing up as caption. We don't want that. We want it headline. Now what if, oh, and then I need to center align it here. Okay. Then if I drag it over here, boom, it goes over here. That's pretty cool, right? Okay, so we got this spread. So now we're just kind of showing the flexibility of our template. So let's copy some more content and change up the spread. Okay, so I'm going to make this one more pictures. And let's do something interesting. We'll pull this picture over here. We'll pull this over here. Pull this over here. And pull these over here. Okay, so now we got a little bit of a different layout, right? And yeah, and you might not have a headline on every page. Maybe it's something like this, like where all of this belongs together. Okay. All right, so we got our image heavy page here. Let's do another image heavy page where let's say it's going to be a full image here, full page image, and we're going to have a kind of a big caption area there. Okay, so you could do something like this. So in between like these pages, you want to show kind of the different flexibility of your, and can't you imagine where you could iterate on this 2 or 3 more times? Please do that, but make sure it's divisible by 4. So 12 is divisible by 4. So there we go. So you could keep iterating, keep iterating, keep iterating. You know what? I've never seen a page number on a back cover, so let's get rid of that. I'm going to drag this none down and put it on there. You see how it got rid of, there is no master page to it. Let's do that on the cover too. There we go. So you'll want to design this up more nicely. You want to design this up more nicely. In one of your pages, please do something like keep working to show how flexible your layout can be, placing your headline in different areas, doing different image layouts. Just keep showing in these subsequent pages how flexible your template is and how many different layouts you can think of. I will say, please keep your headlines in a consistent place. However, beyond that, you can be a lot more flexible. But imagine that you're flipping through like a 300-page booklet. It's really helpful to have the headlines in the same spot when we're navigating. So do keep your headlines in the same location, but beyond that, you can really play around with the layout. Last thing you'll want, well, one of the last things you'll want to do is create a page like Ryan did here of having the headline in a typeface and then a body copy. This is what I'm looking for as far as your pairing, and you'll want to do this 10 times per the instructions for iteration 2. Okay, so somewhere in your document you'll have a page that looks like this. Just pick one of your pages. And I would highly recommend that you keep iterating on how the layout could change. Okay, so then once you've got like a really solid template together, you're feeling good about all the layout stuff, then what you want to do is test your template. So we'll duplicate this file, call it, so when you move on to P3, so this was all for P2. This is what you were supposed to do plus the type combination. So we'll want to save this. You'll want to package it. For now, I'm just going to save it because you all need to watch the video to see how to package. I'm going to pop this in iteration 3 here. And okay, so we got our iteration 3 per the instructions, but yours will be packaged, not like I did. And then what you want to do is continue to work on this type of stuff. And once your template is really strong, then duplicate it again, name it this, say P1 I3 test. So let's do that. Let's pretend that my template was really completely built out and ready to show. So I got my test. Now this is when you're going to plug in your real content. You're going to look through and plug in instead of headline. You're going to say, whatever it is, research, so forth. You're going to plug in your text here, and you're going to see how does my template actually work in real life. Other things you could do to iterate, like give your table of contents a particular style. Add more than what I have. I've got, let's see, I've got headline, body copy, caption, page numbers. Like add in more unique layouts or more unique character and paragraph styles. So yeah, just keep working on that. And let's see. Looking at my notes, we talked about tracking in class. We talked about filling the shape. And let's see. So then, like I said, somewhere in your document, you're going to have the type combinations. Even if you and I talked in class on Wednesday, please go ahead and still do the same type combination thing, because the video might have influenced how you created your document. Or sorry, the video that we watched on type combination might influence the different typefaces you put together. So go ahead, even if you showed me your typefaces on Wednesday, which was yesterday, please still do this again for your iteration 3 based on how the video might influence your choices. So what I'm looking for in your folder is this will be packaged. It won't just be your InDesign file. These two will be packaged, not just your InDesign file. And you'll also have a PDF in there, okay? And when you go to packaging, there's going to be an option to click Export PDF. You're going to want to export that and export it with spreads turned on, okay? So if everybody can please do that to make sure we clean up the mess that was iteration 2, and then we're going to talk about this in class on the 31st. So yeah, in class we're going to talk about your exercise 1A sketches, which I'm going to grade those. We're going to talk about the video that you watched about type combination that you can find right here. And we're going to talk about, then we're going to have one-on-one critique to see how well you follow these instructions. All right, have a good weekend.